Welcome back, everybody, and happy Friday if you are watching this the day it is uploaded. I am recording this about a week early, so I'm not sure. With any luck, PlayStation will have gone back on what they've said, but this video will be discussing some recent comments or some things that have come out regarding the future of PlayStation games. If you're in the know, I'm sure you're already well aware and already engaged in that conversation, or at least aware of it. But before we jump in, I hope you're all doing well. I will be doing some gum chewing and get some ice water. I had a comment that suggested that they enjoyed the gum chewing I started doing again, so this piece of gum is actually just about done for, but I have some more that'll pop in, or I have another one that'll pop in a minute, but I decided I wanted to celebrate, or let me start from the beginning. PlayStation, it has come out. I don't know if they made a formal statement or not, or if it was just leaked or discussed on like a shareholders meeting or something. I don't think they've made a statement yet, but by 2028, they want to no longer produce physical copies of games, which of course has sparked a lot of discussion. I'm not going to engage too heavily with whether it's the right decision or not. I have my opinion, and you will hear it, but you're allowed to your own opinion. I just may not agree with it. So I wanted to take this video in light of that conversation to celebrate some of my favorite physical media and why I think it might be important to preserve it, at least from my perspective. In a lot of countries, it's harder to obtain physical media. A lot of places, it's more expensive, and pirating is pretty much the only way people are able to experience a lot of these things. But again, that's not a part of the conversation I'll be discussing any further than that anyway. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down below, and I'm just kind of winging this, so nothing off the top outside of I have a stack of games here and other things. I thought about getting all of my favorites just to show you, but I decided I'm just going to keep it down to things that I have relevant examples for. Starting off, for example, I have Transformers, War for Cybertron, and Fall of Cybertron. As you can see, I've talked about it. I bought this at a much better price than you'll get it today. But that's just the thing with these games. You can't play them on modern systems, so their price has gone up. And if, let's say, for example, a game comes out today, let's say War for Cybertron comes out today, digital only, and then, just like they did, Hasbro loses the rights to sell this game. Well, that's exactly what happened, and that's why these were pulled from shelves, and why you cannot buy the game on a digital marketplace anymore. So, now you have two options. Go and pay top dollar for a physical copy, or I got lucky, I bought it at a good time for a good price a long time ago, and just held on to it. But if I wanted to play these games now, which they are fantastic games, I'd have to go pay a lot of money for it. And if physical copies didn't exist, consider the other options. It's pirate. That's it. Or maybe if a friend still had it installed or something, I can go play it at their house. But I'll never own that thing. So, and then to go one step further, with the way PlayStation owns things, you're really just renting the game from them. I am admittedly unaware on how Microsoft does it. I'm sure it's the same. But I don't know. I've only seen what's come out regarding PlayStation lately, so I'm sure if I looked into it, Xbox probably has the same terms and conditions. So they could just take away the game. I could have bought it online and then they take it away. But one thing to keep in mind is they're literally doing this now. Sony is doing this now with people who purchased movies on their systems. Now, they might have been refunded. I don't know. But even then, they shouldn't have had to do that. So, anyway, starting up first is those two. To a similar extent, we have Payday 2 for the Nintendo Switch. I think they have relisted this, but for a long time, this was delisted off the store. Which is why, when I went to buy this copy on eBay, I paid quite a bit, or I think I bought it from GameStop actually. I had to pay a decent amount for it. Now the price went up over time. Again, I got lucky with that, but I still paid more than, I think, the retail. I think this is a receipt in here. Let's see. No, I paid $40 for it. But that price went up to like 60 or something. Now, not the best way to play Payday 2, not the best port, but it's not an option for people. Or it wasn't when it was delisted. Again, I think they were relisting it, but you see what I'm saying? See the same argument there? So, yeah, it's just kind of how I feel about owning physical media. You don't own it unless you own it. And there's, let's see. As much as I love 007 First Light and IO Interactive, this is one of those situations where if I unplug my system and I put this game in, I think I'm good. I think I own it. However, if they delist this game and I try to install it for the first time, I'm fairly certain that there's only like one level on the disc. So I don't know how that works. You're kind of at the mercy of Xbox with that. On if they let you have that update that gives you the rest of the game. I don't know. You guys can let me know down below how that works. Like with these older games and these cartridges, you have the full game. You may not have the one with the best patches and whatever, but you have the game. I don't know how that works for these Xbox Series X and PS5 discs, so please educate me down below if you know. But, just kind of fear-mongering. I have no idea how much of the game you actually own by owning a disc anymore anyway, so it's all part of the discussion. And now, oh, damn dog. Give me 1 second. Dog's probably going to start barking as soon as I start talking again. I had to stop for a few minutes. I'm just waiting for them to start barking again. It's ridiculous. Anyway, not really in the same vein, but I grabbed it. One of the first games I grabbed, so Steelbooks, I guess. Not necessarily part of the conversation, but I thought it might make good sounds too. I've always preferred having physical media or a physical version of a game whenever possible. Now, I honestly believe that GTA is the only game that, in my opinion, can get away with releasing a code in disc and still survive fully. Like, it won't take too much of a hit. Nintendo did game key cards, and sure, they were successful for the most part, or for some of the part, but a lot of those games failed because of what they were. At least on that system, they underperformed. From the numbers I read, of course, I follow a lot of people, and all of their opinions seem to skew based on who they support, so you can't trust anyone on the internet. I'm just rambling. You can ignore everything I'm saying. I still want you to engage in the comments, of course, but Yeah, I don't know. Another delisted game. Also Transformers. You have Devastation. Again, another game I got at a good price at a good time. This is a fun game. Platinum. Yeah, you can see that. It's a great game that you cannot get on the online store anymore. And physical copies have gone up. It's a good thing I liked Transformers when I was younger and got these games, because if I was getting into them now, I probably wouldn't have been able to play these games because I wouldn't have spent that much money on them. But anyway, I have another Steelbook. In a similar situation, I didn't grab Bloodstone for some reason, but Quantum Solace, Bloodstone, 007 Legends, and GoldenEye Reloaded. All games you can get on the Xbox 360 and PS3. However, you have to pay not really super upcharged prices, but they're not incredibly cheap. Like, you can get good deals on these. It just depends on the demand. Now that First Light is out, I haven't looked at the prices of these games. I don't think they've gone up by much, if they have at all. But, you know, that's just something to consider, because they were never ported to the current systems. They're not backwards compatible. And for a while, some of them were pretty expensive. If they were better games, they might have been worth more, but you're still paying 20-something for these games. And you could spend 20-something on much better games, in my opinion. But I love them. I'm a huge 007 fan, so don't get me wrong. But I kind of love them in spite of what they are. On the topic of 007, I grabbed all 3 of these. I have 3 copies of James Bond movie collections. We have Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, and Roger Moore. I grabbed these because now that they've been bought by Amazon, it's not too much of a problem. But I'm pretty sure the movies are on Netflix now. So it's like, where... I remember this for the last several years. When I went to college, pretty much since then, the movies have been bouncing from streaming service to streaming service to streaming service. So if you wanted to watch a Bond movie, you would have to go out of your way to watch it, usually. So I wanted more room. You had to really search for where the movie would be if you didn't own a physical copy. So again, very niche problem. It's not really much of an issue. I just am finding something to complain about. But, you know, I love Bond. I like having physical copies of movies. I own an entire box of movies, and my fiance's collection, if you guys have seen that video, has quite a bit as well. So we plan to hold as many movies, Blu-rays, video games, CDs, vinyl records, as much as possible, in the event that one day, you know, streaming services go up in price, or they become the only way to play things. I kind of lost my train of thought halfway through that sentence, so I hope it made sense. But anyway, moral of the story is this: I like physical media. I will always support it. And there are a lot of games that are kind of my grails that I want to get before things get even more expensive. So it looks like I have until 2028. And then I imagine if they do follow through and stop making physical games, the prices for all these things that I love are just going to go up that much more. But, and that's the thing. Apparently Project Helix, Xbox's next thing, is also going to be going digital only. That was leaked as well, which kind of sucks, because if they were smart, if I were in charge of Xbox, I mean, you're already in the hole, so you have to try to buy some kind of support from the fans. I would have gone the opposite route and said, hey, screw them, we're gonna stay physical. You know, I don't know. Try something to be different. I love Xbox, but they got to do everything they can, in my opinion, to win back the consumers. But I have one last game to show you. Not necessarily part of the argument, but it is definitively the best game here, the best piece of media here, and you'll all agree with me, I'm sure you will, because you've all played it. And no one has ever talked bad about Batman Dark Tomorrow. I'm kidding, but obviously I'm kidding. But as you know, it's just another example of you're not getting this on modern system. So, if you really are a Batman fan like me and you want to play it, better have a copy of it. So, maybe I don't know what I'm going to do for a thumbnail. I'll figure it out later. So anyway, that's my very brief thought process on it. Like I said, I'm just kind of winging it. I hope you guys aren't too upset with me. I know that there are some people who support the move to all digital, which makes sense, different lifestyles, you know. I happen to find value in replaying my games. If I was going to play them once and never touch it in my life again, digital's the way to go. But I like rewatching things. I like re-experiencing movies and games and CDs. I like listening to albums in like full sittings. So, to me, there's a lot of value for me in owning these physical copies, because I know even some of the worst movies I've ever seen, I'm going to watch twice. There are very few things that I experience once. And when I do, I probably wasn't anticipating liking it, and I probably did not buy it. There have been some albums I listened to on Spotify, and I'm like, I don't care for it. And I did not go buy it. So, but for the most part, I want to be able to pass these collections down to family members. They may be completely devoid of value to them, and that's all right. They meant something to me while I had it, and they will have the opportunity themselves to enjoy it as well, or, you know, give it a shot and it not be for them, and they're like, I'm just gonna sell Batman Dark Tomorrow. I will not care if my kid sells Batman Dark Tomorrow. Whatever. I love Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan. I'm gonna hold on to it for as long as I have a collection. So, anyway. It's very weird to have gum and ice in my mouth at the same time. Certainly interesting. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough about my nonsense. I think some of it made sense. I think the parts about the Transformers games made sense, and to a degree the movies. I think the rest of it was just kind of like, I hope y'all agree with me. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for stopping by today. Like I said, please let me know down below how y'all feel about PlayStation's potential to stop making disc physical media games. Like I said, I'm holding out hope that they will walk it back, but you know, that's just the future we're heading to. We were always heading to it. I just want to hold it off as long as possible, but I have absolutely no say in what happens. You can sign a petition, but at the end of the day, the corporations will always make their decisions based on profit. So, anyway, I'm going to stop being depressing. You guys let me know what you think down below, and I'll get you all in the next video. Like I said, happy Friday.